everybody. How are you doing? Let me hit the button here and let
Yeah.
me get that button, getting into that screen. And let's see, is it live or is it not? Says we're live.
As we're
So
live. I think we
yes,
are.
we're live.
Uh-huh.
I'm seeing it and I went over there and there we are.
I
So
think
we
we're live.
must be live. That's all I got to say. So
Right.
welcome everybody. Bosto to all of you, one and all. Favor be unto us all as well. And let me get Trina, my Sky Pilot. Big virtual hug for everybody. This is for the world today because Trina, our world is hurting. I
It is.
mean, there are world events taking place right now
Yeah.
that are very troublesome. So, folks, for all of you who don't have your teddy bear, we give you the virtual teddy bear hug.
That's
And
it.
Trina's got a
Virtual.
bigger teddy bear than I do. But
I love
yeah.
it. Wayne, if all of us focus together, I really do believe that we have an effect on the matrix. So there is some potentials for some utter chaos getting ready to come down. And
Hmm.
if it does, we are going to have to be the light in that darkness. And we are going to have to hold our calm, and we are going to have to focus on peace. The opposite of what is going down. We have to be the magnet that nullifies it. We have to help. And this is how we help. We can't maybe control everything, but
Hmm.
boy, can we make an effect.
Yeah, I mean, uh, uh, if you throw a stone in a small lake, the ripples are more intense. But if you throw the stone even in a big lake, it's still going to have a ripple effect,
Yeah.
just a different audience.
it, you can't stop it. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
it's in the field. We when we're starting to understand that this is a quantum field and it's based upon thought. So when you realize that, we really do make a big difference. But you got to figure most of the world is watching TV and going to
They've
school.
got the 24-hour indoctrination.
Correct.
Yeah.
But you know what? Truth and positive thought, it's so much stronger. It really is.
It is, and I think, it also, hello, Martin. Hi, did they say they have a big teddy bear named Tony? It's their dog.
Right on.
Well,
Oh, that's a
give him a big
yeah.
hug for us.
Yes.
By the way, let me just say hello, all the moderators. Thank you. Y'all do
Well,
just a fantastic job. And the Soul Tribe is arriving. It was real quiet in here, Trina. I
yeah.
swear, it was like walking into a concert hall and you're the only one on stage. Like,
Right.
am I in the right place?
Right. You're like, where
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
everybody?
What happened is that, and you know, I do miss some of that. I mean, back in the day when, you know, we I was making presentations and investor conferences. It was
Hmm.
wow. I mean, I really became addicted to that energy because it's pretty cool. But anyway, I digress. So,
That's what I mean. When people come together with focused intention,
oh,
it is, oh my gosh, it's palatable. I mean, you can feel it. It is
let me
so
tell you how I learned it. And I learned it through my religion indoctrination because I was in the sect of our words, you speak it and you possess it. If you would say unto this mountain, be ye removed, cast into the sea, and not doubt in your heart, but believe that those things for which you say shall come to pass, they shall come to pass. And what I found out, particularly in investor conferences, one of the larger ones I went to was over 3,000 people. And the interesting thing was, we were manifesting to do our first Series A raise. Folks, this was, it got to be in the tens of millions. Um, but when the energy flows and it's focused, like you were saying, baby, things happen. And I mean, wow, they happen.
amen.
And it's better than sex. I can tell you,
It,
it really
yeah,
is. Yeah.
It is, oh, wow. If there's any beautiful, wonderful, loving magic, it's magic. It's manifestation in action, and you're watching it. Oh, it's brilliant.
And you're coalescing with all the energy that's in there. And yeah, it is magical
And
because,
I do, I mean, I believe it's like, I know that many of us can do amazing things, but there is nothing like the power of when we come together. Oh, wow. It is such a different energy because I've experienced both.
well, that's what I learned when I was a wizard. Because he said, when you're a wizard and you take the center stage, and I contend people like Elon Musk, Cook, many of the others, I knew Steve Jobs, the
Yeah.
same thing. We knew that we were wizards on that stage because we controlled our space and our time.
Yes.
It's the weirdest effect
That's
because
the
things
quantum.
literally slow down.
You got quantum. You
Yes, literally.
literally went quantum. That's
Yeah.
what that is. You hit the quantum shift
You
where
know,
you're
it's
now having access to the higher dimensions that are actually the structure forming building blocks of what we see manifest in the reality. And you're actually able to manifest in that quantum space. It
yeah.
is profound.
It's like I said, and that's where I think religion gets its, foundation, because when people come
Yes.
together with that intent and focus,
Yep.
I contended when, Lynn and I, we were ordained ministers, and the thing that I often told people is that people don't come to church to see the mundane. They come here to see God. They come
Yes.
to see the supernatural.
Yep.
And when they don't see that, then they become into this dry routine, this dogma that has no life, no spirit, and there's nothing there.
Yeah. It's the lukewarm. There's no passion.
Mm. We don't see the healing ministries. Isn't it odd that I come from a religion where they believed in laying on of hands to heal people, but in today, in this environment, we see none of that taking place. Hmm.
We have become so powerful and they needed to stop it.
Well,
And the
they did.
remedy
They
for
they put
that,
the kibosh on it. I mean, you couldn't have a
they
healing
did.
service today. You couldn't.
I know, Wayne, I'm telling you, they need to stop that. I mean, yeah, this is,
Yeah.
like I said, I think if people literally start doing this again, everything's going to change. And I mean, fast. Something
I
is
hope they
shifting.
do. You know,
That's what I mean. It's not going to unless we make some changes. And it has to be these kind of changes. I mean, we're all got face diapers on and the whole crazy keep your distance thing and all the stuff. And that's because this is so powerful. And we're coming into a new age, which is new light, new coding of the sun, new information, because the sun is a quantum computer and it's moving into a new system of light. Light is information. This is powerful. And this is why these extreme measures are put into place. It's because if we come together, woohoo!
but you know what I see, and this is what we do on this show, folks, is that we give different perspective on it. What I see is the opposite. I see a generation now
Mhm.
that, particularly in the formative years, which are the adolescent years, when you're a teenager, you're not really a human. You're not really human. You're not a child. And you're not an adult. But
Yep.
what they've done is that they've now implanted the program. These kids will be separated. They'll always have in the back of their mind now, closeness is not good. Distance is safe.
Yeah.
And I don't see anything countering that.
I do. The organic structure of life itself, because the program to survive requires humans have contact because babies will die without it. It's a natural, integral part of our human anatomy, our templates, our structures that we get to be earthborn. So with that, I think it would override always because
I hope it does. I
I
hope it
really do.
does.
I think the
You know?
organic, but it's choice too, Wayne. Like I said, 90% of how the operation of you is operating is what you believe and
And
what
isn't it interesting, because we
yeah,
are seeing evidence of that in resistance to many of the things that they have put in place, which
yeah,
tells me there is I don't call it an awakening. I call it a a shedding of the scales that were put over our eyes, and people are waking up to it, which I think is positive. Which
Absolutely.
brings me up to this, Trina. I brought up today that the topic of why is it so difficult for us to be us, you to be you, individuals. You and I were talking prior we went live, and I said, when we come into this physical realm, we are as close to what we actually really are.
Yeah.
And as we become adaptive into this physical realm, we're instructed in what we are supposed to be. You're supposed to be like this. You're
Yes.
supposed to do this.
Yes.
And each time we take that on,
Hmm.
we strip a little bit of who we are away.
It's just this. It's just gross. And it starts from the moment you're born. The trauma. Oh, it's so crazy what we have allowed to become normal. Because it's not normal. Yeah,
It's
and
not
that's
normal.
yeah.
It's
When you're
not. It's
born,
crazy.
the reason you're so close to what you are when you're born is because you have not yet been programmed by the matrix. You're still, in essence, pure spirit and soul integrated,
Yeah,
and it,
yeah.
and it's you. It's you. But the thing is that when you get into this physical body, as it starts to grow and the programs start coming into the body and into the mind and into the aura and into the field of consciousness, you lose what you are through the amnesia because you have no memory of what you are. So you start to believe that this now is what you are. And it starts with the ego identification of when a child finally recognizes that what they're seeing in the mirror is themselves. Because they don't even have that awareness until they're around two.
Yeah, and it's
No,
it's
it's
really
younger.
interesting because I was seeing some of the comments in the chat room, and it's more complex than this because I contend the vast majority of people do not know who they are.
I don't think they have a clue.
That's why people are uncomfortable being alone. That's why they're uncomfortable being in, like a dark place. We don't know who it is, and that's why religion thrives. That's why political parties thrive. That's why social groups thrive, is that because instead of us having our own identity, it's easier to blend in, and someone wrote, and I have to agree with it, into the hive mind. The
Yeah,
hive mind is a place of protection. It's
absolutely.
safety. I can
Absolutely.
hide behind a social group and never have to expose who I am because most of the time I don't know who I am.
Right. I think that's exactly what's going on because when you're so stimulated to perform and do what you're told and what society and your family and the expectations that are placed upon you, you you start to identify with that lifestyle because it's been so told over and over and over again. This is what you are. This is what you do. This is how you act. They're all programs.
Let's take it. And Lynn and I were talking about, let me just bring a hardcore reality in here into focus. This is so set that when a couple gets married, the woman must lose her identity and take on the husband's family name. Now, this to me is the ultimate programming because you see, the woman no longer has an identity. She
Yeah,
now has a name.
yeah. And it's even worse too, because again, like I said, everything is going against what it actually should be in truth. Because when you look at our genetic bloodlines and the genetic lines, all of the genetic bulk is carried within the mitochondria, which is
Yeah,
the
the
feminine
female
side.
DNA. Yeah.
So you should always be tracking your mother's lineage, not the patrilineal.
That's not how it is, though.
Right. I know. It's everything is backwards. Everything is completely
We
there.
can sit here and talk about this, but the fact is, this is in the hive mind collective of humanity, and it's worldwide. It's
Yeah.
the subservience of stripping away an individual. And so I contend the males don't know who they are. The females don't know who they are. Individually, if we get even above the sexuality of the species, is
Yeah.
that I think spiritually, I think in reality, most people don't have a clue what they are.
You can see it in what's going on with the transgender stuff. You can see this in so many aspects of our reality right now, reflecting that at us in a big way, saying, oh God, this is definitely going on. People have no clue.
I mean, I've seen great partnerships in business that in the beginning were strong and bonded together.
Yeah.
And here it is, because one partner doesn't know exactly who and what they are when they begin to try to become something else that they're not. And inevitably, the house is going to be torn against itself.
Oh God, yes.
You know, the Christ is recorded as saying, you know, a house cannot stand that's divided. A marriage can't decide that's divided. A business, a nation, a group of people.
No, it
That's why
can't.
that's why I really despise division. When I see individuals who purposely come in and try to cause division.
Right. Right. And this is, like I said, this is the only way uh, evil can stay in control, is if it keeps us divided. That's the
Yeah.
only, it's its only power it has. And it's been allowed and continued and repeated over and over and over.
Hear that song, United We Stand,
Oh,
Divided We Fall, and
absolutely.
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what's happened here. I mean,
Where,
um, the
you
whole
know,
world, go ahead, huh?
people are so programmed, they don't even, they don't see anything outside of the box. You know, it's super hard to even say, okay, what are options? What are, could this happen a new way? Can we do things a new way? People can't even conceptualize stepping into their own authority because they are so used to being handled and babysat and ran. It's like the first step is we have to realize if we want babysitters or not anymore. And I think this is the biggest step, is like, do you need leaders? Do you need rulers? Or do you need to understand communities? And do you understand your own, things that have to change on such a large scale? Because wow,
And
we
even
are,
on the mitochondrial scale, I mean,
yes, it's such a
it goes
mess.
all the way down to the very bottom of the minutia. Uh, but it's a struggle because, you know, we have these opportunities right now, and folks, I'm telling you, we're going to look back and so miss these days, because I am convinced. I mean, you see development, and I keep on wondering why us in, how do I say, I don't know if spiritual right word, metaphysical, I don't know, but anyway, I would say the groups that have an inner awareness, we seem to be behind the curve in some of this, because there are some events right now that if we don't get a change in them, they could spell a very bad day for all of us.
The whole world,
Yeah,
the whole world,
the whole wide world.
whole wide world.
I mean, that's what we're talking about, the whole wide world.
We just, it's just what's up. It's not biased. It's not saying, oh, negative. It's just what is. And what is, yeah, things are getting hot.
It
So
is. It is, because, I don't know what a person in Russia, for instance, I don't know how a Russian thinks. I don't know how their perception of reality is. We have some commonality. We have a lot of people in Russia that watch this show. I know, because I see the stats.
mhm,
And so it tells me that at least we know in places like Russia, Iran, we got people that watch us in Tehran. We got people that watch us over in Tonga. You know, who'd have thought Tonga?
right,
Hello, Tonga, by the way. We love you.
absolutely.
Um, so here's this common thread, the scarlet thread, I would say, that's interwoven into the white tapestry that tells me at least there seems to be a common thread of commonality of focus, as you were saying,
Yes.
of us individuals.
Yes.
So we can affect the
Oh, yeah.
matrix even to that thread.
Yes, we can.
You know,
Yes, we can. Like you said, once you drop that rock in the water, it goes.
it goes.
It
You know,
goes. And it's
yeah,
going to match in alignment to other similar vibrations. So,
yeah.
like I said, if we see any actions of war, we have to literally be the peace. We have to focus on peace. Don't focus on who's right, who's wrong, what's this, what's no, we focus on peace. And if we join together with a simple common thought, we will have an effect.
I believe that is absolutely true. And as you and I were talking,
It's one life, Wayne. It's worth it. It's like, come on, guys, let's see our strength. Watch.
that's
Wait,
why we
watch.
we we gravitate to concerts, because
Yes.
we're a mass. And I've seen the religious meetings. I mean, there was a woman back in the 50s, Catherine Coleman. She was a great healer, a prophetess as well. And the stories that would take place in literally her camp meeting, she had one of these huge tents that would hold about 5,000 people, and stories. She was a powerful witch. And how I know this is that she would, before the service, begin to get into a trance-like state, many
Mhm,
times speaking through tongues,
mhm.
and she would immediately send out this, best way I know how to describe it, it's like putting honey out for a bee. The honey is going to come for the bee, the sugar water.
Wow.
And so her intent was to bring people within, as she said, within a 50-mile radius of her camp meetings, that if we're needing healing, they would come there. And story after story, because she would hold these events in the rural areas, people getting off of trains, people that were driving cars getting off their destinations and driving where they didn't have any idea, walking in fields from the trains that they got off of, only end up in her meetings.
Yep. Yep.
Now, that's
That
what one woman did.
that's the power. But you see, she brought together the 5,000 in that tent and said, we will now focus and we will send healing within a 50-mile radius. And when everybody agreed to send healing to that 50-mile radius, it manifests. Has no option. It has
And,
to.
and and if anyone you can go online, you can listen to her camp meetings. The woman, wow, I mean, um,
Yeah, that's a powerful. Oh my gosh, to be
and as we're sitting here
energies.
thinking, I remember Joyce Myers. And I remember Joyce when she was still having her women's group meeting out of her basement there in Fenton, Missouri.
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of time with Joyce in the very early days. And what I learned about Joyce Myers was that she was a person who figured it out. She said, it's right here.
Yep.
He says, I will be the largest female ministry in the world.
Yep.
Now, she was saying this when she only had 6 or 7 women meeting in her basement and they met on Tuesdays.
Absolutely. She said, I'm going to manifest this, and she did.
She did.
Straight up.
Um,
That's simple, guys, if you really, really believe it. And nothing else even enters the realm of possibility, and you focus on that and only that, and you take steps to get to that place. Like she had already started the ministry, she was already building the energy, already creating the potentials and the opportunity. She was bringing it in and sending it back out, and bringing it back in and sending it back out to the quantum field. And then finally, she lassoed the whole boom anchor.
she
It's
got
in,
it.
it's
Yeah,
here.
and I'll tell you, the women who supported her, um, excuse me, they were diehards. I mean, they were
Yes.
strong supporters.
And see, that's part of her success,
Yeah.
because
Oh,
not
yeah.
only could she see the vision, they held the same vision of her success with her,
They
and
see.
that amplifies it.
if we take the religious aspect of it, there
Yeah,
is a fundamental truth here,
it's quantum physics.
you know,
It's
and
so
these
simple.
people
It's
learn
how
these
it's
things.
how it works. But we're
Yeah.
programmed to just create war, disease, sickness. We have to stop it. We have to
Mhm.
stop, and we have
Yeah.
to get focused
Yeah. You
and
know,
opposites. Just we're gonna live in opposite land. They say war, we'll say I'm gonna be in peace. You
and
know?
I look back on this. I told everyone about Steve Jobs. So um, we had a company called US Creative, and we were out in San Francisco at the Siebold convention, and our booth was right next to Apple.
Hmm.
And so I came up with this idea with our marketing group that what we did is our campaign was expose yourself to, and we had the largest database at that time in the world. And so what we did, we hired a photographer and we got these models, and they were, when we went into the studio, we photographed them nude, but they were holding, for instance, a computer in strategically places that was still, respectable.
Yeah.
And what it said, and they were cutouts, so you could put your head in it, and we would take a picture, and it says, I exposed myself to 4.5 million people and at Seabold as well. And then we would send you the picture, and then you can use it. Well, Steve
Mhm.
Jobs came by, and he stopped, and he looked at this, and because since we were one of the very, very first B2B companies using graphic artists from around the world, we had all the latest new Macs
Yeah.
back then. And so he stopped and he saw those cutouts, and he got a picture of himself, and told me, he said, this is what genius is about.
Absolutely.
That's what he told me. He said,
True.
this is what genius is about. And I'll never forget that. And he
Creative
helped promote the
ideas.
company. What's that?
Creative ideas that
Yeah,
literally draw you in like a magnet with no option. Literally, you
literally.
cannot help but stop and look. That is that. I yes, genius.
Some point, one of the tribe members here, tribe members, we're all Soul Tribe folks,
Yeah.
sent me a link to an artist, and I can't remember. I think Phil, and I can't remember his last name. Anyway, he he didn't even know he was painting it at the time, but painted this picture. And when he looked at it, he realized that he had painted Lilith,
Wow.
and he gave this beautiful interpretation. And when you look at the painting, those who really have studied Lilith, you get this psychic pull, and that's what I've learned, the power of one individual, what they can do to change.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yes. And
Now,
especially too, like I said, I believe that there is the creator itself, I believe, like you said, is non-emotional. It's not really biased, but I do believe that its primary base frequency is that of benevolence. So its ultimate action is good. So the ultimate highest action, I mean, all is created within it, but its highest, that's what holds everything together, is this underlying love fabrical organization through this good, this benevolent creative force.
and
So
we've got to amp it up, I'll tell you, because
yeah, yeah,
Lynn and I were talking, and it's so true, because what is the worst state of a human emotion? You can say love, hate, but actually the worst emotion for a human is indifference. And that's what I see
yeah.
spreading across social media platforms, other medium, is it's getting people into a position of indifference. And that's dangerous.
It's a zombie.
Exactly. Thank you. It's a walking zombie.
Exactly what it is.
I mean, getting back to, what we're seeing taking place in the atmosphere. The other day, we were watching, and we shaking our heads and seeing, the chemtrails that they're doing up there, and whatever they're spraying, we know it's lithium,
Yeah.
and lithium is a sedative. It basically is it's a
They give to schizophrenics.
psycho. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
that's
Yeah,
what they give to
it's a kind. Yeah,
schizophrenics.
yeah.
The most
People.
effective, which
Yeah.
completely is pulling your
It
brain.
neutralizes you.
Yeah, I was gonna say all your
Yeah, it's like,
doors. Yeah,
yeah.
schizophrenics can't close their doors, so they close those doors for them, which is closing all of your creative doors off because they're closing your doors. When you have a healthy, functioning, opening door,
Mhm.
yours is working fine, and you can tap into different areas of creativity, different emotions, but you can understand your reality, and you're solidly anchored in your reality. They don't have that. So to be putting that into the normal human is going to create a level of zombie.
I think that there's also a way that we can almost self-immune ourselves. I mean, Lynn and I have gotten to where we like just silence. We don't
Yeah.
like any televisions or anything going on. And what I was doing a little while ago, I started making up this story. And she looked over at me and she said, "Are you making this up?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "What do you think of it?" She says, "Well, besides being dark, it's damn good." So,
Right.
but I think that that's one of those signs is how creative are we? Because I think that expresses who we are.
Wayne, I really, in all of my searching, when I looked at what am I and why was I created and all that stuff, that part right there, the creative part of you, that is direct connection to source, is what it was shown to me. It's like one of the highest levels of access to the God creator thing that makes all of this. So yeah, that is that is valuable. Really
It's
valuable.
entertaining too, in a way, because you're making up,
So valuable. Yeah, that is like they showed me one of the highest frequencies
you
is like
know, uh,
creativity and imagination. Boom, baby. That's the stuff.
that is the stuff. And
It is. It's,
I know because, I know over on a drama and a seven, and, there are so many talented people
yeah,
that are part of this grouping. And to me, that's just affirmation that,
yeah,
you know, the,
yeah,
I guess the appeal is our appeal is to more creatives, more, I think, right brain than
yeah.
left brain. Is yeah, and do I have that correct? Yeah, I think it is right.
Yes.
Yep, yep,
Be it more
yep,
intuitive, create. Yes. Left
yeah,
brain, more
yep.
logical, more structure, more government, more focus. Yeah. Science, math.
And
Yeah.
then we have some in here, and I just love it, who are very, left brain. I mean, very logical, very,
Absolutely.
and I love their Marcia reminds
I
me.
was going to
Marcia
say,
has,
Marcia, our
yeah,
researcher, she just
yeah.
wants to find the data, go through the information, and logically have it make sense on the statistical scales of means, and it needs to work.
And then
That's,
we all have,
we need those. We need those
oh,
people. Oh man,
yeah,
they're so important because, this is how we put together what we find. It's how we gather our information. It's so brilliant.
we do. It's, and I think that's the draw. I mean, I look at what we do here each Tuesday, and it's a wonderful format because, a second look gives us the opportunity to really look at these things. And I think the individual, I guess the one time, maybe that's two times in every person's existence in this realm where we really begin to find out what we are, who we are, is when we come into this realm, and some of us came kicking and screaming,
Yeah.
and said, like, hell, I want to go back there. But anyway, and then it's that moment of transition where the consciousness is transmuted into something else.
Yeah.
I mean, when you die, your physical death, you really it's only you, baby. Ain't nobody else there,
Mm-mm. Nope.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and like I said, and I think that's the shock factors when you get outside your body and you're like, wait a minute, I'm still here.
so I was talking to whoever the I call him the big FP, the full potential,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I can't define the creator anymore as male or female. So
No, it's
I call
both.
it, yeah,
Yeah,
it's the
both.
FP,
Yep.
and
Focal point.
so I'm laying last night in a state of meditation, and I, was almost getting to that point of lucid dreaming, and I had this strangest conversation, and I heard distinctly in my mind, "Who are you?"
Mhm, mhm.
And I remember saying, "I am who I am. I know no other." And then I heard something say, "Well, should you not be more like this character?" And I said, "I don't know that character." And it dawned on me, all of a sudden I had this flash hit me that we go through our whole lives, and I did this myself for decades, and what a torture of trying to be something that I thought I was, never understanding the beauty of the simplicity of what I am. I'm a very simple spirit.
Yeah, you just blew my mind, Wayne, because that's my dream.
Really.
Remember, I told you I had the dream, and I literally appeared in the dream, and I walked in through a door, and it was supposed to be my house, but it wasn't my house, but it was supposed to be my house, and there was a surprise birthday party for me, and there were red
Wow.
balloons everywhere, and I was like, I'm seeing red. What's up with that? Because that's not one of mine's purple. So I was like, okay. So and it wasn't. I was just thrown off, and the energy. I was looking around at everything around me, and I just had this knowing something's not right. All of this is fake, and this is being used to trap you. And then all of a sudden, I was like, I'm gonna, just slip on out of here real quick. And I went through a door, and I went into different timelines, and I had somebody with me, and I was trying to help them find their right timeline. And we were going through these different portals and dimensions, and it was very frustrating. I remember the feeling of being very frustrated. I was like, there's got to be a way to get through this. And I was getting frustrated. And then I woke up, but it was amazing. I was going through different doors and hallways, and all of them were different timelines, different realities, different perspectives, different dimensions. And it was just, whoa. But it was all about how everything here was fake, and we don't even know who we are. And everything that we think is good around us is actually just a deception to keep you stuck inside the labyrinth of confusion. And I was like, that's profound.
That is profound. Interesting. It's so it gets right back down to that point that, in a dream state, maybe it's where it's only the time that where we can actually get back to who we really are. And obviously the influences. It's like, um, I told Lynn this Saturday night. I had the strangest dream that I had gotten this hole. It was a hole in the earth.
Mhm.
And as I began to dig in this hole, I knew that there was something in it. And I remember I was having to kind of push other people away because it was important that this was my hole. It was strange. But as I began to dig, the next thing I know, I was inside the hole. And as I looked around, there was this. I mean, as I told Lynn, there were coins, silver, gold. There were, I remember seeing a pile of just jewels, and it was interesting. And I woke up and I said, "Honey, I found our hole." You
You know
know?
what it is?
What?
While you were saying that, I literally saw you unlocking your DNA and going into your records and remembering all of the gifts and talents that you've acquired throughout your lifetimes and manifesting them on this earth as real treasure.
Well, that's far out.
Wow, Wayne.
That is far out. I'll tell you. Yeah.
Wow. That's kind of like that golden serpent dream. That's a good one. Wow. Wow.
Those were, and I was looking at, by the way, because
And then
I
you
wrote
were
those
saying
down.
that,
Remember that was 2 years ago, Trina.
yeah, and then you were saying the be still thing, and you were saying, what are you? I am that I am. I literally saw my sign, be still and know that I am
I
God.
didn't even see there. There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
be still and know that I am. Yeah, for real.
And this was
Yeah,
strange. I remember telling this, whatever it is, I said, I really don't know you. I said, I only know through what man has perceived. And I said, I'm looking forward to the time where we can introduce ourselves.
absolutely.
I
You know
really
what's
do.
weird? Okay, really weird. Okay, weird, weird, weird. Okay, so I've been trying to understand the whole the Father and I are one thing with the whole Jesus thing, because I know that the Jesus thing is a choice. Jesus thing is He is us, and you now have the abilities through whatever this being did was. And like I was thinking about that too, about the Abel's blood cried from the soil. And that like tells God that that blood is there or something. I don't know what's up with that, but there's something about that with the Jesus's blood thing hitting ground. Now, whoever this Jesus dude was not Jesus. I whatever, could have been just some guy who was running around saying screw the government and knew how to heal people. I don't know. So
It says
there,
yesterday, as I said, he could have been a reptilian.
yeah, I think that was part of it. Absolutely part of it. I swear to you, I think you're spot on with that, Wayne. And there's so much. Oh yeah, because I'm thinking this person came as like a Stargate person, baby from maybe Venus, which carries the light codes. And yeah, you're onto something with that. That is
that
so
show
reptilian.
yesterday brought a lot of discussion, a lot of
Oh,
cognitive dissonance. I mean, humans can't handle this idea that we may in fact be reptilian. We got this
we have
idea.
reptilian brains. We have skin. To be a skinned human being, just like it said when Adam and Eve fell, they were clothed. That's when you got your skin, dude. That's the reptilian from the snake in the garden. Then you fall, you get your flesh. This is your reptilian evidence.
And
Right
we
here.
shed our
Here.
skins. We
Yes,
shed
we
them.
are snake. It is full on. All the glands in our brain match the reptile.
Someone sent me
Our serpent.
a thing from Egypt.
We're
There
hybrid.
is a transformation taken in some humans where they can, where eventually we may be actually able to spit venom.
I
The
think, yes,
human bite, by the way, is
yes.
one of the most infectious bites you can
You
get.
then that's I'm thinking be from our reptilian genetics, because we don't have just reptilian genetics, we have other genetics in us too. That whole 90% junk whatever, they just don't know what it is because it doesn't match anything they can identify here, and a lot of it is
Like,
multidimensional. You
hey,
can't
Charlie,
see
what do we
it.
do with this crap?
No,
Hell, I don't even, what is it? What
you
comes out of us?
yeah, so we're
The
definitely,
hell you say?
we have no idea what's going on,
I
Wayne.
ain't
That
taking that.
whole
Someone wrote me and said, I ain't no damn snake. And I went, how do you know that?
You are too, and you're part monkey. But like I said, different genetics have different animals more dominant in their
Yeah.
genetics. I think some are more dominant with birds, some are more dominant with pig, some are more dominant with different species, some are more aquatic. So we're mixed with these different animals, praying mantis. We've got insect,
Well,
spiders,
wasn't it
all
Orris
kinds of
who
stuff.
was half human, half man, half fish, who brought knowledge,
Yes,
to the Cretes? I mean, this is the Mayan legend. But yeah, he came from the sea.
and
Yeah,
Mithra, he was one
yeah,
of the oldest gods, and that was a fish god, and he
yeah,
came from the ocean, was part fish, part man. Yes.
yeah.
These go way back, all the mermaid tales
Oh,
forever. Anybody who has memory of Atlantis, you would remember seeing the hybrids and the chimeras. There were a lot of them. So they're
I got a paper I'm going to be doing on this whole Atlantean residual, what I would call the memory, the image of what it once was.
yeah,
And people don't understand that Earth, oh, I think we're about to see it. I mean, I wish I could see so positive. I see a bright tomorrow,
mhm.
but we're going to have to go through the dread of night to get there.
Yeah, Wayne,
I mean, we really are, Trina, and
I've
it's
always seen
positive
that.
up. It's edifying one another
Mhm.
in these moments, lifting us all up, because each individually, we all go through the daily struggles.
Absolutely,
We do.
absolutely.
And, you know, sometimes you have to recognize the negative in order to know how to prepare it.
Absolutely. My gosh, you have to be
I'm going to
aware.
write that down.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
yeah.
if you're going to consume negative energies, you have to look at what you're going to be preparing, Well, do I
Yes,
use a lot of garlic on this, or is it a little bit more onion, or what are we going to do here?
absolutely. Because 90% of this, Wayne, is we can't control everything, but we do affect everything. So we can cause a lighter effect with these things by focused intention. But when you do see negative things coming, it's really good to at least have an awareness that it's coming and to be
It doesn't
prepared
bring
when
me
it's going
fear.
to come. Me neither.
Well,
It's like, get ready. You signed up for this experience. There's nothing that's going to come forth in this experience that you aren't going to laugh at when you realize that you're just playing a role in a game.
yeah.
You don't die. So it's time to be brave, and it's time to act like some players on the field and get busy with your focus and start making some waves in this pond because it's our pond.
I like Lucky Stone. I saw his video when he was saying, what is the purpose of my channel? And, Lucky, love you, man. You love your whole center of being. He's just a special, special spirit.
He's a
And,
seeker, and
huh?
he's a seeker,
Oh,
and
yes,
it's
he
so
is.
wonderful to watch the depth
Yeah.
of his mind and his where he's going, and it's beautiful. So yeah, thank you,
And he
Lucky.
said, the best thing is for me to be me, and
Absolutely.
and I thought that is the key, you know. Yeah.
I think if we all really embraced what we really are, and that would be understanding what makes your heart sing. Because when your heart sings, your body becomes an organ that produces a symphony. And that symphony is so powerful in creation because it's specific to you. And the universe is waiting for your calling card. And that only happens when your heart sings. So sing.
As my wife said, I'm the only man she's known that sings all the time. When I
Right?
wake her up in the morning, I'm singing. She says, "You always got a song." I said,
Right.
"Yep, it's always a different one, but hey,
Absolutely not. And like I said, and we sing in different ways. Like some
yeah,
of us sing by smiling, some of us sing by petting our dogs and loving our kids. And we're all singing in different ways. And
mm-hmm.
that's the most amazing part of it too. It's like nobody does it the same way. So don't think that somebody's gonna know your way. No, no, only you know your way. Whatever makes your heart sing is specific for you. And oh, if we can reconnect with our song, it's gonna be a new sound of the world. And
As I hear Cat
respectable.
Stevens, if you want to be you, be you. And if you want to be me, be me. There's 1,000 things you can be, but be so, and that's how we go,
Yes.
and it's part of the journey is when we get into those lifelong relationships, we find out that it's you're having the opportunity to live through another person.
Yeah.
That person is also living through you,
Yes.
and you learn to be what I call much more malleable. You have to be, um, you have, and I think about this a lot with Lynn, is that I marvel at the uniqueness of her, what
Absolutely.
makes her,
Mhm.
and I get the chance to be a part of that energy, and
You
yeah,
know
it's a
what I
beautiful thing.
see when you have a beautiful relationship like what you have? It's the uniqueness of her and the uniqueness of you are reflections of your own dream manifesting before you. And through that unity of those unique vibrations, you're creating a whole new energy into this world through that love.
Yeah, I'll dig that. Yeah, I
Through
mean,
that love.
you know, and it's like the relationship with a lot of these people here with you. And as I see, in the chat room, many of the people have been, with me for a long time. I mean, and you're right, we've been doing this for a lot longer than I had originally
Yeah,
had
it's been
thought
a
of. Yeah.
while, Wade.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, and
Yeah.
I didn't, and I guess what is it over on the Andromeda 7's website? They
Uh-huh.
have all of the episodes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes. It's like I said, this is a beautiful family because we all have relationships and all different kinds and all different ways and all different expressions, but it's all based on a fabric of just wanting to be better humans and do our job and get out in one piece and hopefully celebrate when it's done.
Getting out in one piece, that's sometimes like, oh man.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is we're trying to figure out how we going to do that. What is this place and what are we looking at? There's so much we just don't know.
I
And
know it. And I for some reason was I forget what I was doing on Sunday. I was reading and writing, and anyway, just got into this point of, had Brian on my mind, and it was a very interesting moment, when you just have that, because I wasn't thinking anything, and it was amazing because
yeah,
then I sat back and and I thought, how much I truly miss Brian,
me too.
his energy. And I was thinking of Gerald Clark as well. And,
Yeah,
some of the people that we lost last year.
abs-
And, you know,
absolutely. Some great, great people.
and I saw Brian coming into his own,
Me too.
and it's relevant to understanding who and what we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a gift to have known such a wonderful soul. And what a,
Yeah. It's true.
what, like I said, and when it's such a beautiful thing to know that in essence we're responsible for everything that's in this reality as on a collective and as well as an individual. And I'm grateful every day that I brought him into my reality as
Yeah.
I knew. It's like the best parts of my world are manifesting, and it's to know that we can bring in more is
Mm.
to me a wonderful thought. But we're losing some, so it's time to gather more. And because there's so many of us, Wayne, I
Oh,
just I know it. I
I
know it.
believe there's a lot out there looking for, a group like this that's, this group does have, it's an
So
overwhelming love, acceptance.
that are
Uh,
silent, but they're there.
they're there. There's a lot,
Yeah,
and I know y'all are out there.
yeah.
We love you all. We can't
We
name you all, but
appreciate you very
we
much.
know, we know you're listening,
Yes.
and we thank you. Uh, and met some beautiful people, and there's more coming. I really do believe that.
I believe it's time. It's really time to unite, and the only way that can happen is if we have passion and give room for each other to think differently, believe differently, express differently, and just be okay with all of it as long as it doesn't hurt another person or it's not, directly harming. We should just be able to embrace each other and focus on things that really can make an effect. Like if we see things of war, focus on peace. If we see things of illness, focus on health. Just all we need to do is become the opposite. And if we can become that, we become that antivirus I was talking about, Wayne. And I have a feeling it's going to be powerful.
I think it's good. And the other thing is, don't be cheeky.
Yes.
I love that
You know
term.
what's
I mean,
weird
uh,
too? I
huh?
keep getting download information about vectors and their
Mm.
association to viruses and their association to the space program, and all the symbology worldwide is associated to that symbol. So there's something with this.
As we're looking for new frontiers, Lynn and I, one of the things that we are looking at is, where does it lie in relationship to ley lines?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep. 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 That's all I can say. I think that you know, some of these people, like Tesla, these
And make
guys
sure you have physical access to the property. Super important. Legal
were thinking
physical
about
access.
buying it. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's like, we ain't making no moonshine here. We're making ley lines. Don't you understand that there's an energy current here? And that's what I'm convinced that,
And check in with your soul too and your spirit, Wayne, because I wonder if these lines are moving right now.
I think they are. I think the planet is speeding up. The days are getting shorter. And there's just, what's so weird, Trina? There is just so much um, coming together at the same moment, at the same time, from so many diverse
As
places.
above, so below, all around,
I
360.
mean,
It's every direction. Oh my goodness, it's coming from every
I
direction.
mean, I sometimes just want to go, I don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch this,
Right.
It's
It's
like, but
intense.
I do want to watch it, because we're living it. We're actually
Right.
living it.
Yeah, that's the hard balance, is looking at the things that are in our reality and the things that are having potentials to show up in the reality, and how to stay balanced in that, and how to focus positively so where you can make a positive effect into this world of madness that we're currently sitting in. I think that's all with the best we can do. But I think if you do just that, that is going to be a lot in the long run. And like I said, more of us that come together with common unity and common.
So if we follow this logic, if we
Uh-huh.
follow the logic,
Yes.
so if everything is inverted,
Yes,
normal is the new crazy, and
yes,
crazy is the new normal.
you bet. And bad is good and good is bad. Everything is reversed right now. We're seeing it across the board. It's all in, it's totally evident. Yeah. So if
So
it's
if someone says that you're back crap crazy, go, oh yeah, baby. You
say,
have no
oh,
idea,
don't
man.
you were me. Yeah,
You have
don't you
no
wish
idea
me.
who's running the asylum now.
That's right. Yeah.
But
So yeah, this is exactly what's going
yeah,
on. We're seeing that. Everything is, and in the Bible, they said that that would happen too.
there's a lot out there that they say, and again, as I look at prophecy, adding another potential explanation for it, other than it's either preconditioned, pre-programming, or it's self-induced. But then there is another position of time travel, beings of such a higher intelligence. So are we seeing the fulfillment of the Ezekiel? I don't know. Certainly seems like the chess pieces are getting in position.
Yeah, it sure does look like that for sure. Like I said,
And I
oh my
go,
God. Yeah,
hmm.
yeah, it's getting really hot, Wayne. I mean, wow, above and on planet
Oh, let me just bring this
everywhere.
out. Not to cut it, but Al, you have the Milky Way Messenger card deck. Give me the link, Big Al, if someone has it. I'll put it in here and we'll get the order. I think he said what they have to get 100. Is that the
I don't know, because he was going to do two decks. Now he's doing one, so I don't know the details. But
okay? All right.
yeah,
I watched the
it's
other
going to
night
be
y'all
so cool.
talking. There what?
Al, I want to bring him.
Yeah, I mean, I just need to get the link, and I'm so bad at this. When I get off here, I typically go back and write. I'm.
Absolutely,
You want to see what I've been writing?
I
Just to
do.
show you, this is what I've done in the last month.
Wow, Wayne.
So I
Wow.
write a lot, and I told Lynn when I pass over, my memoirs are all over the place. But
Absolutely.
let's get the card deck going in there. Let's get this thing sold out. Give me the link, Al, and I'll put it in there permanently in the
And
description
I
box.
know, if anybody wants to go to the Queen of Courts, the Crystal Network website,
The link is in the description.
on the Crystal website as well. So Crystal
Okay.
Network, yep, it's in there with the Queen of Courts, and yep,
Good, good, good. And
Full Tribe card
Karen,
deck.
find a lot of gold, will you? Guy,
I
we
know,
love you.
right?
I love you too. You and Paul. I owe y'all a phone call, but I am the worst at that. And
I know
so if
it's
I
hard.
put the link in, let's get them sold out. I mean, if it's 100, we can easily sell 100 in this channel. We can
And
do it.
guys, they're going to be powerful cards because they have us energetically attached to them. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And they're going to be
I think I'm
powerful.
the two of clubs. I think that, what are you, like the three of,
I
you the
think I'm the seven of diamonds,
seven of diamonds? Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I don't remember either, but yeah, it's been a while. But yeah, they're going to be powerful because playing cards are powerful.
They are powerful.
They're powerful, very powerful. That's the first.
Go to Vegas, you find out how powerful they are.
Well, most people don't know, but they're the tarot deck. So they're
That's
like,
what it is. I
oh,
mean,
yeah.
when
So yeah,
that's why I don't like playing blackjack, because
right.
blackjack always remind me of tarot. And it's not that it was a negative. It's this, that I'm trying to read the cards, and at the same, you've got to think quick, it's
Yeah,
like,
you got to
yeah,
count.
yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Whereas roulette, that's my game, baby.
Right.
I win on roulette more often than I ever lose.
My brother too. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Al says he's going to go visit Karen, him and Perry.
Yeah,
So
they want to.
did y'all get your rig? Did they get their rig?
They're still thinking on different options right now. Things are going a
Okay.
little crazy with shipping, especially with the
No
Suez
shit.
Canal, and things are
Oh,
starting to get a little weird. No loads, empty. Like we're slowing down a little bit, guys. So
Beloved Abstract says Texas Hold'em all the way. You know, I do like playing in the poker rooms, and I do have to say, Texas Hold'em is a good one.
right on.
Um, you know, and here we are. We're talking about going back in the times that we used to live, which we should be living again. But yeah, yeah.
I think I think it's getting closer, but we aren't done with this chaos for at least a little while.
No, there's more coming, but I think this group here is easily going to handle it. I just see
I
it.
do too, and I think that's our job is to when we see things coming, know that we can have an effect. It
Rebel
has
Jean says her son
small,
lives
big
in
or
Vegas.
small, but we can.
We can.
Yes, we
And
can.
wins at roulette often. Way to go. Tell him high five
Yeah.
for me, Pamela. That is cool. We remote viewed roulette for a couple of years. How interesting. Guy, I know I want to get you and Paul on. So um, we're going to do this because I don't know what it is about roulette. I've always enjoyed it. You know, it's the best psychic game I know of.
Oh, I know it. It's
It
amazing.
is, it is. And
Yeah.
and and I tell you how I used to play it, and I know we're going over, but I try to get the feel. I'll stand behind the table, and it's not the wheel or the dealer I care about. It's the people at the table.
Right.
If I realize that I can have a stronger psychic impression on them, but many times you find individuals that are just as strong as you are, in some case stronger.
Yeah. Yeah. Because when you go to Vegas, you're playing with a lot of
Oh
wind.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
met one
Yeah.
individual whose strategy was black and red.
Hmm.
And my strategy is to get people I put into their mind the number that I'm thinking about, although they're playing, their numbers in the back of the mind. If I know that they're projecting that out, and it will come up more often than not.
Yeah. See, you piggyback off the others
Oh
for
yeah,
power. I'm
hell
telling you,
yes,
once human
yeah,
beings actually learn the power of genuine good for the good of all, not
yeah.
self-serving.
No, not stuff like gambling.
Yeah, once, but even if you don't abuse people with that money and that wealth, like I said, there's so many balances for all of that. But if we could truly learn that with cooperation, oh, you win.
Oh,
Bottom line,
Vegas would
nobody
not
could
want
ever
us
win.
in there anymore.
Yeah,
Because
one person or entity could never be as strong as a mass group
it
of.
never occurred to me to get a triad, maybe even a foursome or greater, with getting into that purpose of going
Those are
in.
the real big winners. Those are what they do.
Uh-huh.
And they get
Yeah.
caught after about 3 weeks and they get blacklisted. Yeah. They always go in teams. There's
Says,
at least two.
your
Usually,
psychic powers are not welcome here.
oh no, they get so booted. They're like, yeah, fun is
We
done. Gotta go.
know you. We
Yeah.
have you
Yeah.
on tape. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. And they're like
Uh,
good. Like, these people are professionals. But yet, no, this really is. These are powers that do truly work. They
they
really
do.
affect our world. It's not magic, it's just quantum. And this is a quantum field reality that we're in, and it's how it works.
Trina, I knew at one time, and Lynn and I talked about this, I could have gone into the ministry and made millions.
You bet you could, Wayne. I know you're right. I know you're
I
right.
mean, wouldn't have been a problem at all,
Yeah.
but I can't, that's not me. It's, that is inherently opposite of me.
Yeah.
And said no, you know,
I completely understand that.
yeah. I'd
So
rather do
yeah.
this with just the love of giving love and receiving the love. To me, this is wealth. This
Yes.
is the kind of wealth that heals you. This is the kind of wealth that
It is.
sustains you.
It
You know,
is. It really is. And there's no religion like it.
no,
That
not at all.
we're just here to look at it all and learn and get more understanding about what we are. because through that understanding and remembering of what we are, maybe we can create a better world, because right now the world's not in a good position.
The value cannot
Fix it.
be measured on the relationships that, you know, ours and the rest of the soul tribe. It's above.
It is.
In fact, to have a value, try to put a value to it would be an insult to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's eternal.
Yeah.
Because love is a vibration that wins over all of the other ones.
It does. It does. Absolutely.
Stronger.
All right, Gina. So what's up with you this weekend? This week you have Friday with Andromeda 7.
Yes. I don't know. They've got also Wednesday. So Wednesday A7, and then Friday is A7, and then Saturday is Milky Way Soul Tribe with Robert
Mr.
V.
Robert V.
And then I got Wayne Steiger on Tuesdays.
Well, we uplift you on that one. Teresa says Aboriginal Sacred Wisdom and Stories on Wednesday. Cool.
Yes.
Cool.
Aboriginals.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The originals. The Aboriginals.
The original people.
I think so. I think that's why they have that name, because there's a lot of significance in words if we really start to break them down, and that's
It's a fact.
Originals, the AB bloodline originals.
Marcia is in Facebook cyber jail.
Yes, she's always in jail. Oh my gosh, she's so funny.
Marcia, we love you, dear.
We love you, Marcia. Jailbreak, baby, jailbreak.
Who was it? Was it Thin Lizzy that had, there's going to be a jailbreak, so yeah. All I've got to say is let our people free.
That's right. Let our people free. They just got to speak. Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Jailbreak.
We're coming to the rescue, Marcia. Yeah. Hold on,
Yep. We got the keys. We're coming.
Someone just said something. Isn't it funny? I just remember I was thinking about Pinky and the Brain. And I saw Peter write some. All right, folks, this is fabulous. Trina, thank you. Much love to you always,
Love to you.
And everyone out there, we just thank you. Y'all are just fabulous.
You are.
And let's buy the cards. Let's buy the deck out,
Yeah.
Send me the link and I'll make sure I get them bed. So I'll do it. Then I can hold up everyone else that, see, you got to be like me. And then you're going to say, no, we have to be like us.
Yeah, I'm doing it too, Wayne.
All right, Trina, stay with me. Thank you, everybody. Y'all are the greatest. And we'll see you tomorrow. I have Ryder Lee on, Raised by Giants. See, so I'm looking forward to that. And thank you, all the moderators, David Castle, Robert V, Deborah Truex, and all the rest of y'all. David Barry, haven't seen you in a while, buddy. Have you seen David Barry?
We've putting up. I've just been watching his.
I've seen his music videos, so I'm hoping that's keeping him busy.
He's been busy between work and doing the videos.
Good. It's a creative outlet for him, and he's good at it.
Yes, he is.
Loretta says Wayne is using the other half of my mind. She said I also thought of Pinky and the Brain. Yeah. Now you see, that's what I'm talking about. Wow. All right, everybody. Much love to you. Martin and Heidi, we love you over there as well. So everyone be good and